Welcome to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. I'm Aaron Mason,
And I'm Max Mason.
and here we are again. We've had a lot of discussion about about the recording technical sides and
Volume.
volumes. I don't know. I can see the thing going by. Maybe I should shut off the recording so I can't see the lines, but it seemed like it was freaking out, or it's just being super sensitive. So anyway, yeah. So how's your week been?
Oh, yeah, it was pretty good.
Very cool. So not that this has anything to do with anything, but I just saw something pop up that says Taco Bell fans declare Christmas miracle as beloved. It was just popping up. I was trying to turn my phone to silent, but I guess the quesarito came back.
I did see that.
So in maybe not art news, but in culinary news.
Yeah. That's good. I know. That's probably like one of the things I get the most at work if I go to lunch.
Oh, it's
other than like going to the grocery store is Taco Bell. So I have the app.
Yeah.
And they have, I saw that. They have another one that's like a confetti cookie freeze.
Oh, fun.
That sounds fun. Yeah, I get to see all their weird things they try to do.
Our latest, and this is kind of interesting. Here's my plug for my new favorite candy. So we were watching Sorted Foods. I think I don't know if you've ever watched it.
Is it on the
British
Mythical?
guys. No, it's the British guys. And it's a cooking show kind of thing. But they'll do cooking gadgets, they'll do different foods, they'll do cooking challenges. And so we were watching one where they were doing advent calendars.
Oh, yeah.
And with different things in them. But this one was, it's Lacrids by Bullo. And anyway, they're licorice. They're black licorice that are dipped in different things. Like the original one was dipped in chocolate.
Okay.
And so they're little balls is what it is.
Oh.
And so we looked it up because it's from Denmark or something like that.
Okay.
And so we looked it up, and there was one store in Tucson that had them. And
cool.
The AJs. And,
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And so we went and we tried it, and it's our new favorite thing. And then I went and spent too much money buying more of it.
Nice.
But they have one called sour strawberry. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
And then the crispy raspberry. And then there was a double chocolate.
Ooh.
The double chocolate tastes like the best little fudge brownie that you've ever had. And you're like, how's
with licorice still? Or
with licorice
it just
in
covers it up, and
but it just melds. And that was the original one was interesting because it's kind of bitter and made a little salty at the first, and then the chocolate hits, and then it mixes, and so it's like an experience from first taste all the way to the end. It blends into something else.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the most amazing transformation. There's like 6 different distinct tastes in one one ball. Just one experience as it blends and blends and blends as you chew it. Yeah. It's just so my new favorite thing, and it's just lots of fun. So,
yeah. At our favorite Mexican food place here in our neighborhood, they on their website they had a little thing that was like, write a review for one of our products or one of our dishes, and be entered to win like $500, which I was like, okay. And I thought there's probably not a lot of people doing that, but I was like, I'll still do it anyways. And it's been really fun writing very in-depth experiences of the food.
That's fun.
So I did that at work. I've done 2, and I printed one off that I did at work, and Chloe brought it to read to her coworkers.
Nice.
And they enjoyed that. And I also recently came across an account on Instagram that does like very academic reviews of fast food places.
Oh, nice.
And it's so great. It's so funny. Like one of them was the Arby's has a steak nugget sandwich.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, this is not an elevation of the sandwich or of steak, nor of nuggets. It is an exhaustion of form.
Oh, that's good. Oh, well, that's awesome. It's good that we're having laughs right now because no, it's good. It's just the stuff that I'm gonna be talking about has some heavy stuff.
Okay.
But it's really cool stuff, and I'll explain why. It's kind of like when you read the I Who Have Never Known a Man.
Known Men, yeah.
Known Men. I think it is that kind of thing. I had a different subject that I wanted to talk about, which was also going to be and will be soon. I think it will be fun to talk about. But this one, what I was doing is I was sorting through all the poems that I posted on the blog. And I was pulling them off, not pulling them off or pulling them down, but I was copying them so I could have them all in one place.
Right.
And so I was just going through, cleaning up all the garbage that I also copied when I pulled it off.
Yeah.
Because I tried to download it and it didn't pull the poems. It pulled the pictures. It pulled, and it said it would, but it was in a weird form and I couldn't get it to print out.
Okay.
So there is a poet. So it's going to be poetry. Sorry to give that away so early, but
it's okay.
there's a poet that I have been trying to remember, and I happened to write a poem about them or in their style.
Okay.
And so and maybe a little bit about them and it had their name, and I was like, oh, good. And then I pulled it up and started reading, and there's things about this that are significant. So, and also significant in helping people understand technique and things like that. And then, so first I want to introduce a movement or a group that existed.
Okay.
So it's called the New York School. And so it sounds like it's this institution.
Yeah.
But it was just a movement. It was an informal group. And one of my favorite poets, well, favorite, but also influential, influenced me, if not in style, but but also in approach to how he writes. So that New York School, when it was first formed, it was inspired by, well, this is kind of funny because we talked about Klaus Nomi, I did, and some other stuff. So they were inspired by the avant-garde and surrealism.
Okay. Yeah.
But also they favored wit, humor, and the advanced irony of the blague, a word that I did not know.
Yeah.
Which is the insolent prank or jest. Is what the blague is. Like plague with a B.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it. Or it could be blog. I don't blog. And some similarities to stream of consciousness.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is important. But the person that was at the center of that group, the New York School, was Frank O'Hara. And I've already talked about Frank O'Hara when I was going over multiple poems, because he did a book called Lunch Poems.
Oh, right.
Remember the one that had taxis and stuff?
Yeah.
But so that was influential in the writing about what's going on, and writing about the mundane and making it interesting. And so it's just that kind of, but those are kind of stream of consciousness with some flair.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of other artists and poets that were really influential in that I also like quite a bit, that studied that were in that group. So some of them were, and it was a lot of experimental stuff. They were just kind of grouped together to try and kind of understand different things. But one of them was John Ashbery and James Schuyler and Kenneth Koch are all, and Barbara Guest. So there's a lot of big names that I really like their stuff. They're really interesting. I think James Schuyler is his. I think his was what was his big book? But it was just it was one of the ones that I'd studied in school, and it's just this has got to be it because because it says LGBTQ plus poetry, so that's
so that fits in.
Yeah, it's like one of them did something with that subject matter, and the other guy didn't look right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he wrote one called like Tennis Court Diaries or something like that. It was, but it was really, really good. Just really, really thoughtful poetry. All of these guys, and so I loved it.
Yeah.
And when I was studying it, and so they
are they people you first heard about in college or not on your own?
No, discovery? And that's because sometimes it's hard to find new things because there's so much new things, and so I had a class that had I had to buy like maybe 10 books of poetry, which isn't the biggest of deals, but all of them have been things that we've talked about. They were really, I didn't realize what the group was. Mm-hmm. And then now that I've been seeing how they're connected, I was like, well, that's why these were all together.
Yeah.
They weren't all this school. There's a couple of outliers along the way that were earlier influences of this movement, but it was all that move towards postmodern thought. And so these do, I don't know. I think that my second favorite group of poets are the New York School. This person I'm talking about, while they are grouped with the New York School, they're actually considered the second New York School or the second generation because they're younger than that first one.
Okay.
But they knew them and then they carried it on.
Okay.
And I think that this group is another group that I identify with because like the modernists, I just, both of them I like the way they write. They're not postmodernism where they don't have any, where there is something, a message. There's something being they're trying to say.
Yeah.
That is an experience and they are crafting it. They are controlling it.
Right.
And in postmodernism, a lot of times they're just controlling the sound, not necessarily the subject.
Yeah.
And so, that's the thing I don't like is the not having any meaning.
Yeah. Is there a group that's your first favorite group or just modernists?
Yeah,
just modernists? Okay.
Yeah. Modern poetry, which is mid-century.
Yeah.
And so I like that. I like so that range that William Carlos Williams, Robert Frost, T.S. Eliot, that range is my favorite. The New York School, I'm finding out, is the continuation of my favorites, seemingly, because they were able to write about the everyday, make it a little more examined than it usually would be, and elevate the experience and find some kind of message or hope in that elevation of that experience. So that's how I feel. But that goes back to Walt Whitman forward.
Okay.
So I feel like I do like Walt Whitman. I like him for his inexhaustible stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
If you read Song of Myself, it never ends. And it is fairly brilliant all the way through, but it just never ends. And it's the same kind of thought game over and over and over again.
It's same, like, kind of never ends as like the Wastelands. I know it's not really stream of consciousness, but that kind of length.
Yeah, it's it's
longer?
novel. It's novel length.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So if you do Leaves of Grass, so Leaves of Grass is let's get the stats on it. I'll just give you this description, and this applies to a lot of his stuff. Leaves of Grass is Walt Whitman's seminal collection of poetry, first published in 1855, which he continuously revised until his death, growing from 12 poems to over 400.
Whoa.
So it says the work was so it talks about nature and the body, and it's a free verse. That's kind of where Walt Whitman broke the mold. The work was controversial for its candid sexuality, but is now recognized as a cornerstone of American poetry, with Song of Myself as its most famous poem. And Song of Myself is, it also never ends. So I'm trying to think how long is that poem? It says it was first published without sections as the first of 12 untitled poems in Leaves of Grass, and then it just kept going. The poem was divided into 52 numbered sections for the fourth edition, and finally took on the title Song of Myself in the last edition. The number of sections is generally thought to mirror the number of weeks in the year. And so it's just, but they're all kind of related.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like each one gives a different view of the same topic. So it's this kind of, it's an interesting, and so you can just drop into the middle of any Walt Whitman poem and there's a little section that's brilliant and you'll enjoy it. You don't have to read the whole thing. You can read the whole thing. Who cares? It just keeps going and going and going. It's good to kind of diverge into Walt Whitman, because his breaking of form is similar, reflective, led to this poet doing what they did. So just to give you some stats, the poet's name is Alice Notley.
Okay.
So Alice Notley was born in Bisbee, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in 1945.
That's close to where in Tucson, right?
Bisbee's a couple hours away. It's where there's a mine down there, and it's an artist. It's kind of an artist community. Yeah. And it's really cool. It's a neat place, but of all the places, so born in Bisbee, and just to further the oddity of her life, raised in Needles, California.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and you've been to Needles by accident.
Technically.
Yeah. When we took a wrong turn and on our way to Vegas and ended up in Needles, and it was interesting, and it's just out there, right?
Yeah.
And
that's where they say Snoopy's brother lives.
Yeah. And what is it, Spike, or is it?
I think it's Spike.
It's his cousin.
Oh, cousin. Okay.
Yeah. So
matches my sweater.
Huh?
I think
it's on your sweater.
Yeah.
That's funny. And which is kind of funny because Spike has got a little mustache and a cowboy hat and lives in the desert, and so she went from the desert to the desert, just different deserts. Right. But yeah, Needles is definitely a odd little place. Right. Then I think she was in some writing schools. She went to New York, met another poet. They got married. Eventually, and so that was when she was doing the second New York school. Okay. And so she was kind of the newcomer. Her husband had been in that school.
In the first one or the second
Yeah,
one?
in the first one.
Okay.
And he's a little bit older than her.
Hmm.
Then she was kind of grouped in and carried that on and taught and in most of her, the most often said thing in her biographical notes is she has never tried to be anything other than a poet.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so this is what she always wanted to do. She also did art, and many of her books, she did the artwork for the covers.
Hmm.
I was reading something else about her where she had a class that she was teaching. I guess they say second generation of the New York School of Poetry. But she always denied being involved. But
Oh, really?
yeah, she's like, I don't know that. I do my own thing. I think it was more maybe to just show herself as a unique thinker, and that might be
Oh,
it.
okay. Yeah.
There was one time she was teaching a class or a workshop, and the students were supposed to write a whole book's worth of poems in that class and finish the book. And then they this is back, I think in the 80s, and they printed them off on the mimeograph, which is, I don't know if you know what that is, but it's you you have to, it's like a real printing process. So you have to make a negative and then you put it onto the drum, and then you can run the paper and you can crank the drum, and it has this like bluish, purplish ink, and you print off each sheet. And so it's pre-copy machine, but it's a copying machine. It's a method.
Okay.
Have you ever seen?
I think I've seen those around.
Yeah, and have you seen the purple printed kind of purpley blue ink?
Yeah.
Yeah, mimeograph. There it is. So we used to have those in every church library.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Every handout I had when I was a kid was that blue ink.
Oh, nice.
And then the ink, it doesn't set very well. And so if the papers get put together and something's sat on them for a long time, they stick together.
Yeah.
and the ink, it will transfer the ink, and it's not a very clean print either. And so it's always kind of it was always funny. And
cool.
Yeah. And I think it would wear out the negative and stuff like that. So
funny.
yeah. And so it get increasingly less crisp.
Yeah.
So it is fun. It's a neat thing. It's a hilarious piece of history. So
yeah.
But she did all the artwork for all of the different students' books in that class. So
yeah.
She did all the covers anyway. And so that was neat. Over 40 books and chapbooks.
Wow.
And was in 1999 was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And tons of other awards. One of the most prolific poets of ever, and just wrote and wrote and wrote, and very, very, very influential. She's just thought of as one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
So the reason that I'm fascinated by her is the way she structures the sentences in her poems.
Okay.
And so I want to read quite a bit here, but just bouncing around. And that's what I sent you. So you can open that up. And because I think sometimes it's going to help hearing me read it. It might not seem so interesting. Well, it might not seem, you're not going to get the sense of how it's written as much.
Yeah.
So this book is called Mysteries of Small Houses from 1998. And what this essentially is kind of, it starts getting into it. There's titles of poems that are just poems, but then it starts getting into year after year, kind of a poem about that year. So you'll see 1972, 1973, and it keeps going to 80s, 88. It just keeps going through
Yeah.
all the different years. And so it's really cool, but I want to go to one of the longest times. So
Got it.
this one, and I'm not going to go, some of them I'm going to go into what they're about. There's one in here that had me messed up, and I'm going to read that one
Okay.
because it got to me, and I don't remember which one it is, but it's coming up. So, but because it was done so well.
Yeah.
But I guess her brother was in Vietnam and had made it back home and was dealing with PTSD and drug use, and so there's a lot of stuff about death, a lot of stuff about trauma. There's a there's a lot of the F word.
Okay.
Not really, but there is one very famous poem about that. It's fine. It's a good poem. There's some sections I like, but there's kind of two sections. The first part I really like of this poem. We'll get to it. The second part is about a visiting poet going to a writers' conference in Iowa, which is a boring place, and how many of those visiting authors or visiting poets come and they get with some of the students.
Oh, okay.
and kind of discussing that, and only in very raw terms. So
okay.
and it even even in the middle of it, she goes, gosh, isn't this just B word? Like witchy.
Yeah.
She's like, it's like, geez, it's like self-realization through the middle of it. Like,
right.
Oh man, I'm really being witchy, but and so that it's really funny in that sense. But I'm going to go down one to bottom of the third stanza. This one says, and you'll get it when you start following along, but
okay.
Why aren't we the same as each other? Rocks look the same. I'll never be you. This rock's me from before the flood and after the fire. This rock's you, and what happens to you, it adds up to. This rock, this time, and this time in this bush is long, long. Becky's our baby, our sister, and this one is hers from before the flood and after the fire that comes. I am a rock in those shadows. Who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking? And you can see that it's the sentences connect in maybe 3 points.
Yeah.
Like there's every sentence has some portion of a sentence in the middle of it, or maybe a portion of the next sentence down. And that's what she switches the structure of her sentences very well. And then the end of the poem, it says, this is the longest one of the longest times. It lasts after we're dead and after all people are dead. How do you know? Because thoughts have lasted since the first thought. Because I think that we're in the first thoughts, still lasting, and we last, making real cells. And just that, this one bounces back, bounces around, but that's just an introduction of how it bounces around, and it's that thinking about a time before her brother had problems.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting that. So the next one we'll jump down to is called The Obnoxious Truth.
Okay.
Some of these I just couldn't stop marking them up, but this one's interesting. So it's about when she was, the kind of the setup is that she's playing a piano solo in her high school auditorium, and she doesn't think she's very good, but they want her to, but they say, oh yeah, you're good. But she's like, I'm not really that good. But she's playing Debussy.
Yeah.
And Debussy's not as simple. It's not simple.
Yeah.
And I was listening to this a lot of the time. Is Arabesque 1 is what she's playing, and that's not like the left and the right hand aren't playing the same tune.
No. Yeah, that one's always tricky because the left hand bass notes is doing eighth notes, and the other hand's doing the triplets. So
Right.
it's not a super complicated one, but it's fast and
it's fast. Yeah. It's and everybody, you play arabesque for somebody, they've heard it.
yeah,
It's used everywhere, but
Right.
it is a
yeah,
and that's one hand. and another one's doing this other thing. Yeah, exactly. So it's just she's if she's playing that, she's not untalented.
right.
Then she goes down to something about true thoughts. She says, to be in the true thoughts, you must forget possessions. Of course, I don't want them anyway. Looks except as expressions of good feelings. So to be in the true thoughts, you must forget possessions. Of course, I don't want them anyway. Looks except as expressions of good feelings. So it's
Like sentences into sentences.
yeah. So I don't want them anyway. And these are the things she doesn't want. And we'll start listing them.
Okay.
Looks, except as expressions of good feelings. Sex, except as it happens. Talent, except as it performs without causing envy. Run the risk of being the only person around who's scrupulous. They hate you. They make fun of me, actually. They like me, but they patronize what will be known in ignorance as my idealism. So that goes, I don't want this, but it also says them and then me and then us. Like
Yeah.
it's how I think about myself, but also how I am in the group, but also how they think about me. All in
Yeah.
that, just
Right.
compact in there, but it works.
Yeah.
And then they say, can you be how you want despite others? I hope to still. I'll always be this adolescent. I'm right that I won't change. I may seem insufferable to you. I want to live in true thoughts, this desert with nothing between me and it never trembles. Such clarity obviates the heart, the kind that smothers the world in productions, but not the kind heart that thinks, and not only in words. Am I back on stage? Arabesque number 1 done. They're going to praise me again, but I didn't play it right. Look at these gold lame shoes. Look at my hair. So she's revealing her inner thoughts, her inner wants, who she really is. She knows she didn't play it right. She knows all of her errors. They're going to look at the fact that she played a very complicated piece, give her praise for it, see her gold lame shoes and her hair that's done up.
Yeah.
And that's all they're going to see. And so this is a very deep, introspective, hearing her thoughts, not what she's expressing out.
Right.
And so,
Yeah. But yeah, anytime I would do concerts in
right.
my band or in college or whatever, I would be very aware of mistakes I made. And it is kind of, conflicting when it's like, I know I did not do that as well as I have, as well as or as well as I could, but it doesn't seem like what the audience is picking up on.
Well, there's that whole thing where we say we are our own worst critic.
Yeah.
And this book is replete with that. She is criticizing herself. She is self-effacing throughout the book. So
is lame something?
It's like
the fabric. Or?
It's kind of like no, it's kind of like a coating. So like a laminate.
Okay.
Like laminate countertop.
Yeah.
So a lame is just for the fabric side of a laminate. So
I didn't see the accent mark first. So I thought it was like these gold lame shoes.
I know, right? Yeah.
Which I think could also kind of work.
Yeah. Exactly. I hear that. So I like that. So we go to the poem 1965, and I read this. So this book is just for context. This book is 159 pages, and 156 of it are poems. And I read it last night.
Oh,
I scanned. I got the ideas on some things, some stuff I dove into, but I hadn't read it in a while, so I reread it, and so it's a lot, right?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
you get there's a version of published works that poets do. They're called chapbooks that are maybe 40 pages long, and those are a lot. But the full book here, this full book, and you can see why she's prolific. I mean, it's 150 pages roughly of poems, which is significant.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of writing. And it covers a lot of topics, and it kept going and going. I'm like at page 89. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still going, but I get engaged in it. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to highlight, and just, we're going to jump from each to each and not see every poem, but because that would take us hours. But in 1965, this one is going to be her in New York. So that's the period of time. And there's a lot of good description in the first part, but and right before what I have highlighted, it says, "I'm miserable because I'll die someday. Blonde girl whose wild points out loveliness of trees, because she thinks I'm interesting too, but no one's what anyone thinks." And then then she starts diving into this. She goes, "If I return to the desert, I'll die there. Want the secrets of culture, not realizing I now am them. It hurts others. Every step I take with the having of this prize, I'll never go back on the trees, make glass clicks blown gently. But if there's delicacy to be cultivated, did I learn it in privilege so that I could touch cold words together and make a sound of a girl who was colder than I knew, perhaps still is?" So what is interesting there is she goes, okay, if I'm complaining about this, what the first part of the poem is, I'm complaining about this New York culture and how these people act.
Yeah.
But if I go back to Needles, I'll die there.
Yeah.
Because I want the secrets of the culture, not really realizing I now am them. She is the secrets of culture. To her former self, right?
It's very like emo pop punk band. Like, I hate my hometown. I want to get out of here. I can't go back to my hometown.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I now am them, am it. I now am them, am it. Hurt others. So if you read that, it's actually not realizing I now am them, am it. Hurt others. Like, that's three thoughts there.
Yeah.
In one sentence. And every step I take with the having of the prize, I'll never go back on the trees. Make glass clicks. It's so you can see, and you're seeing it written, and you know that was three sentences in one sentence.
Right.
Three distinct thoughts. But you really, 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 and that's what I love about her poetry.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? About not thinking too much. The book last week, 2 weeks ago, the repair manual.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Don't think too much. Do what I tell you.
Yeah.
This does require thinking, but it requires you to let the words play through your mouth.
Yeah.
And you just read through and you come back, and you read through and you come back. And usually when I'm reading her stuff, I just read it out and listen to what I'm reading in my head. I listen, and then it starts to kind of make itself known.
Yeah.
And you just have to trust that she's getting somewhere.
Right.
And it's a great journey, but it's hard. It is a journey. So
that's kind of what I experienced with the Neuromancer book. Reading through that is that it's very strong,
right?
Aesthetic, very stylized, and kind of has to be to fit this whole world that this guy's creating. And
Yeah.
so I had to like look up like, hey, is this book nonsense or am I just missing something? And everything was like, yeah, you just kind of have to sit in it and let it,
Right.
get into the world. And if there's something you need to understand, he'll make sure you understand it. But otherwise, you just need to experience the sounds and the textures of this, cyberpunk.
Well, when you were discussing that, I was thinking of her.
Oh, really?
Yes. I was like, yeah, I know where this is. It's the same experience. So,
Yeah.
so there's that. So let's move on to As Good as Anything, which is that's the one I was kind of talking about earlier. It's one of her more famous poems.
Okay.
But I'm just going to read the first half because the rest of it gets, it dives into some raunchiness that I just don't care about. So but it's really well written.
Okay.
But As Good as Anything, I don't see the point of remembering you. You're too boring, Iowa City, Iowa. Much duller topologically than Needles, California. I'm here in the Rebel Motel with my grape-colored sweater and mate tea, whose smoky odors bound up with first rooms and foods here. Sex and snow, I write about Needles, Herman, and rocks. The story is called As Good as Anything, and in it, Daft Herman, true local of Needles, says rocks is as good as anything. I figured that out summer after first love affair in New York. Hung out home at a rock shop, inspecting geodes and thunder eggs, arsenic samples, and petrified dinosaur dung. Great picture,
Yeah.
right? Because you've talked about this. So Iowa City, just for poetry or for writers, Iowa City has a writers college, a writers conference. It's one of the main. Okay. There's a few Midwestern schools that are super like master's creative writing programs that are super prestigious, and Iowa is one of them. That's why she's there. Because it says after this, it says, "What can I say about Iowa City? Everyone's an academic poetry groupie." This is true.
Yeah.
If you're going to Iowa City, you're going to be, you want to go there because all of the famous current poets are going to come and visit.
Okay.
And that's what the rest of the poem is about. But the first part, I think, is really much more interesting because it's I remember back, Needles isn't a great place. Mm-hmm. It's not New York City. It's not, it's not some place that people go to on purpose.
Yeah.
But it was still more interesting than Iowa City. Unless you're, going there to be an academic. So it was a kind of a fun little example there of one of her more famous poems. So I don't want to forget it. Yeah.
I like the couple down, like everyone's a academic poetry groupie, but then it says, I haven't yet written a poem.
Yeah.
So kind of this place where like you should be inspired or wanting to work. And it's like, I haven't written anything.
Yeah. Later down it says, really, I don't know what kind of poetry. What's the name of the make they use here? Or what kinds of poetry live people write in the world? Is there a right and wrong poetry? One might still ask, as I patronize retrospectively the Iowa style, characterized, as I remember, by the assumption of desperation, boredom behind two-story houses, divorce, incomes, fields, pigs, getting into pants. Well, not really in poems. Well, no. Wells, and all in the costive mode of men who, and the suicidal woman, want to be culpable for something, settle for being mean to their wives and writing dour stanzas. And then you saw the line. So like that. And it reads this way. That is just a word vomit,
right?
But it's great. It flows, but it is like, what am I supposed to write about? This is what everybody writes about. Is that what I want to write about?
Yeah.
But when you're here, if you don't, and I had that experience in the creative writing program at ASU because. If I didn't write about everybody that came in wrote these poems, one of those topics. And and the horribleness of life, the bad side, the dramatic side, the traumatic side,
Yeah.
all of that. That's what was written about. And then I would come in and write about.
I could see you writing about pigs.
Well, yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, fields and pigs. That might be mine, but the rest of them are. The one I did. The one poem I wrote was called "Inherit the Wind" Part 2. And so Inherit the Wind is a famous play about the monkey trials in the South, right?
Right.
And so it talks about evolution. So this was part 2 about a donkey who was thinking about a Pegasus and thinks, hey, we look alike, but I'm a eunuch and you can fly and this sucks. So
nice.
So it was it's a donkey, mule. Yeah, I think it's a mule. Yeah, mule. So mules are a cross between a donkey and a horse and are sterile.
Yeah.
So I would write that and I'd show up and they're like, I don't it's, and I'm like, okay, it's humor. Get over it. I'm sorry that I haven't had a drunken fight with anybody ever, but this is where we're at, people. I write about mules. So anyway, I'm going to jump to, I think, is this the one? Yeah, this one's going to be hard. So anyway, Not Child, page 47.
Does that last poem also play into your love of rocks?
You know, I just like that it is. I didn't remember that one very well. And I when I was starting the research, I saw it and I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. But no, there's a lot more that plays into my love of rocks, but and I could write a lot more about it, but it is back to my dad for sure.
Yeah.
So, but okay. Speaking of dads, pretty sure that's what this one is. Yeah. Say, Not Child. Can't today. Am not in the childhood black house. My life's unhinged and blowing round me, clouds and tatters. Sold a car this day in Chicago for $25 to one Tom Grubb. I can't even drive. Pregnant, I will be miserable in this house. Black crow, death flap, left shoulder. Ted saw his first ghost here. I saw my own. Goodbye, good girl, phone ringing and ringing. She's calling me up. She wants me to stay unsocially pure. But I've sullied her with living around people, absorbing their oh so definite ideas of how to proceed. Write, be female, mother, and dress. What's a girl's joke? Do women have wit? Oh, this is a different one, but this is a really good one about being a female writer. Take a crash course in prescribed humor, later take a crash course in sorrow. You aren't funny like you used to be. You ain't pretty, you ain't funny. You ain't as famous as you should have been. Huge wind, clouds blow the stained glass in, glue the pane back together. We are so brilliant. Well, I don't know about that. What have we made but difficulty? A species which can't laugh and play like God can only prevaricate, predominate, prefer. So I like that one with the social commentary or the commentary from the outside, the expectation of what it is to be a female writer. Can women be funny? You know, like these are all questions that I kind of still asked. Can women write that? Can and which is unfair because I think she's a better writer than most of the male counterparts. And then she ends with, your house only burns inside. It's still standing. Some consolation, an internal firestorm. All I do is make thought. Chicago or Paris, am I? New York, San Francisco. Where's the most distorted being I've ever been? That thing, but all the thoughts in this, your house only burns inside. It's still standing. So you may be a burned out husk and nobody knows.
Yeah.
You may be destroyed inside. But also that question that ends, where's the most distorted being I've ever been?
Mm.
I just how huge is that question?
Yeah.
And that's the last line of the poem. And
Wow.
yeah, it's just it pulls together so many great thoughts and starts so many great discussions.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to skip ahead a little bit. Next one's Diversity Street. This one kind of, and it's interesting too, because it's this kind of personal history journey. Things tie back to each other. So this one ties back to a previous one where it says, I'm in a house that's too big, the Diversity Street house. Ted sees a ghost, a young girl, cross the kitchen and disappear through the door that leads upstairs. I don't exactly believe that, or maybe I believe I'm the ghost myself, asleep and awake at the same time, haunting my house. I see two pieces of shattered glass full of light, you and I sleeping. Climb down in the dark, down into the basement, or up where the guests might lie. Only walk free, only released from fear in my sleep. So
Yeah.
that's a neat. This one reminded me of the book. What is it called?
I who
Yeah.
have never known men.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
Or
The first book.
This Thing Between Us.
Yes, This Thing Between Us. This poem reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Because it kind of tells that story in a way.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if Phoebe Bridgers is a fan of her, because I mean,
Yeah.
she does have a song called Scott Street, is one thing, but on her website, one of the lyrics from, I believe it's from I Know the End, but she also kind of describes herself as a haunted house with a picket fence.
Right. Exactly.
That kind of fits into this.
So I could see it happening. I could see it being the case because, yeah, for sure. It is worth the few places. I'm just going to jump. It says, and then this ties back again. And then someone says, I think you should write happier poems. More than, more than once I'm asked to deny my experience. The weight of this house of shadows, I'm so in it now. As a ghost, I'm perhaps from the future. Ghost in an own life of mine because fear blocks the door. Again, even more of that book of This Thing Between Us is that I am a ghost of me and my own life in the future. But also that
Right.
I like that line, you should write happier poems. More than once I'm asked to deny my experience. My experience has not been fully happy.
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to write, from experience and write about happiness? And as you read through this, the thing of this is that there was a lot of people passed away. And so what it was is a whole series of those poets from the New York school all kind of passed away within several years of each other. And one of them being her husband, who passed away. It was 1983, but he was born in 34. She was born in 45. So she is about 10 years older than her. But he died in 83 at age 48. So it wasn't great.
Old. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't very old. And so there's a lot about he's Ted. So there's a lot about Ted in these poems. And then there's a lot about some other people that she knew and them passing. So there's a lot of death in these poems, which is just really interesting, the way she writes about it and the experience and how much happened kind of all together and how many people she had to deal with losing all together. So,
right.
And then the last of this is, and deeper still, who's afraid? Is it I? Below, who's afraid's the one who isn't. And that line right there is interesting. Below, who's afraid's the one who isn't. I keep reading that. and it's
Like you kind of have to
it's
break
yeah,
out the contractions,
yeah,
conjunctions.
yeah, and
Whatever.
so anyway, and they go, yeah, and catches you, right?
Yeah.
And then it says, the ghost from the future, I almost believe I will prevail when I'm asleep, and the future haunts this house.
Mm.
And so, yeah, that's a good deep one. I like it. The next poem that's just right after this one is kind of funny because
Oh,
and
I'm
I'm not,
wondering
yeah,
the line who's afraid is it I think is kind of feels like another one because it's not a question which he says is it I who's afraid is it I maybe.
yeah. Below who is afraid is the one who isn't. So it yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
is that mean? So what does below mean? Is below the kind of like the next layer down of the personality?
Hmm.
Like below thinking about who is afraid, below that is the one who isn't. So underneath, you may be made of sterner stuff. Your first reaction is not what you're not gonna, just because you think you're afraid or you think you're gonna be afraid doesn't mean you actually will fall apart and be too afraid to go on.
Yeah.
Because then I almost believe I will prevail when I'm asleep and the future haunts this house. So
Yeah.
yeah, just great, great stuff. um, right after that, it's just a funny one I just want to point out. It says, I must have called and so he comes. And then it's just this conversation between her and her husband. He goes, you're accusing me of something in these poems. No, Ted, I'm not accusing you. Can't catch your voice though. So anyway, it's a funny poem and it's just humorous because it's them going, it's poignant, but it's humorous of them just going back and forth, having a conversation. I really like it,
Yeah.
but I want to try and get to, oh, this is the one. Oh, dang it.
Uh-oh.
I remember now. It's
Okay.
called Bring Me a Pea Jacket and Sandwiches. Okay. And I highlighted some of this, but I'm probably going to read more of it because, just anyway. All right. It goes, young, smooth face. Look, he's grown very young to die. No glasses or mustache in intensive care. Then unhooked from tubes to be moved from there to a private room. That's when he asked for his pea jacket and sandwiches for the boat. I smuggled Edmund in under my coat, my second baby, because my father likes his Irish grin. No, first we have the conversation where I tell him I have to cry, and he says, that's your prerogative. I think that remark, that carven word, makes him a keeper of my words, a muse. Long after his death, he comes to me in dreams and tells me to make things. A raft for your sons, he says, on a beach strewn with dead alligators and blue lapis. Where's my corpus sagrada? Obviously a poem. He cries in another. He's deep in me, and I talk to him more, cede him a privilege for his awesome death, a position of authority in my imagination. So that is just because that line, I think that remark, that carven word, makes him a keeper of my words, a muse long after his death, is just, that is the people you love and care about do hold your words because they are the inspiration as a muse.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that's neat. And then the line where she quotes him saying, "Where's my corpus sagrada?" And then she goes, "Obviously a poem." I like that little aside because the way it's
Yeah.
written, it's like this is an aside to myself that phrase is going to make a poem.
Right.
So it says, yeah, and so it says it's I guess the Corpus Sagrada is a feast of Corpus Christi or body of Christ. So it's some reference to his, the feast of Corpus Sagrada. So,
Yeah.
but then it goes and keeps going because, and this is what's hard about this one. because it talks about how her father died of psoriasis
Mm.
and psoriasis of the liver and who he
Oh,
was. And
yeah.
then it says Ted becomes ill with what's diagnosed as alcohol hepatitis. Perhaps he's been drinking a lot, but it says 75% of the cases of alcohol hepatitis lead eventually to psoriasis. So the
Mm.
person she loves now is going down the same path as the father,
Yeah.
as her father. Um, he says, but in the future, I won't talk to Ted when he's dead. I must retain my autonomy. We'd become too much of each other. uh, I like, and we said everything anyway. Had we ever? So, but
Yeah.
then the end is the subject of this poem is not how a woman's imagination may be dominated by a man's, not how a person's imagination must allow in some others to be lively, nor is it the story of two men close to me dying of drink. This poem escapes and exists beyond words for me as I do, picturing myself now perched, crouched in a leafless tree at night, looking down. So she's looking at this like a bird in the tree,
Yeah.
observing this. And and I like that she says this isn't about the fact that I can only write because of these men.
Hmm.
And
Right.
I'm not only writing because I've had tragedy. And it does. This poem escapes and exists beyond words for me. And I can't tell you if you're writing and you're listening and you're letting the words develop as they should, how
Hmm.
much, how many poems exist beyond you
Yeah.
as a poet. So she steps outside of herself and observes why she wrote the poem. That's her sitting in a leafless tree at night looking down. She's stepping outside, picturing herself.
Yeah.
All right. So, real quick, also, Self 78 Speak.
Okay.
We'll get to that one. And the end of it says Ted says he and Tom believe in God, and Steve and I don't. Their bad habits, all three, are much worse than mine. So is that a victory? Of course not. Am I different? I don't know. I don't have to tell you everything, and I never have. I guess I've gone out for the Pepsis and beers. Who owns the corner store? The Portuguese family, Johnny and Michael's dad, will die of a mysterious illness. We run a small tab there. The night's full of people who are like us, but not, in their words, for what happens. I feel closer to them than to most poets, but I can't live without our words.
Mm.
And this one is really a good one to show the way she develops a sentence and how you have to kind of read it because like it says, so is that a victory? Of course not. Am I different? I don't know. I don't have to tell you everything, and I never have. I guess I've gone out for the Pepsis and beers. Who owns the corner store? The Portuguese family, Johnny and Michael's dad, will die of a mysterious illness. We run a small tab there. And so
Yeah.
it's who owns the corner store? The Portuguese family. Portuguese family, Johnny and Michael's dad. Johnny and Michael's dad will die of a mysterious illness.
Right.
So, layers. Oh, you can read it if you're like, oh, you have to explode the formula.
Yeah.
Um,
You have
yeah,
to every couple words you have to go back and restart.
right. And I love reading it. I love reading it to myself, but I love reading it out loud
Hmm.
and trying to find the key is really what it comes down to. And that's, I think, the thing that has made the biggest impression is that there's complicatedness to it that is fun to play with. It's discovering what the meaning is.
Yeah.
So there's some other. I skipped quite a bit, so I'm going to go and jump to a few more highlighted things, and then we'll kind of draw it to a close. But Hematite Heirloom Lives On is the next poem, and it's almost to the end of it. It says, you, I remember you then. You said goodbye to me outside on the street corner 2 years later because I was part of him, and you were making war with him, though I wasn't to take it personally. You were too much trouble anyway. You always had to be adored. You made me say I love you. I lied. I've adored no person. Love isn't your present. You can't ever have mine. I don't owe no love. Saying goodbye now, then. So
Mm.
this is a kind of a neat way of, kind of, you told me goodbye. Who cares?
Yeah.
You were a lot of trouble. I just think that's a neat one. So that was just a highlight, but I'm going to just, okay. Next poem is The Common Ground, Ask Anyone You Know. It says, lazy, unimpaired, and unoriginated, there if I ask if it's there, because what I do at best is respond from it in kind. After all, I know how to hear you. It is my automatic goodness. When it's blocked, I'm shamed. It conflicts with self, but is true self, as I'm grouchy when Ted is dying. Because performing my magic function of complying exactly with his needs is not in harmony with our life's everyday surface. I am gargoyle so he can be grace.
Mm.
And that is just a neat sentence or a neat thought, because I'm grouchy when Ted is dying. Well, of course you are,
Yeah.
but not for the reason you think.
Right.
It's like, because complying exactly to every need of the sick person is not normal. It's not how we live our life. And so I have to be a gargoyle so he can be grace. You have to take all the garbage,
Yeah.
kind of consume it.
Yeah. It seems might be like an old like church imagery too, having like gargoyles on the outside, but grace and saying grace
Yeah.
on the inside.
Yeah. And it says gargoyles they represent evil spirits or sin to remind people to stay inside the church. So gargoyle and grace. Grace is keeping away from sin. It's the forgiveness of Christ's death is grace.
Yeah.
And the gargoyle keeps him in good spirits because it keeps him in grace.
Yeah.
So, it's that right there is I am gargoyle, so he can be grace. Just gets me. That's brilliant. And then some quick lines. The next poem is I towards a definition, or one towards a definition. I think one. It's part one. So there's two parts. There's two sections to this poem, and I'm going to read the first part of each because they're interesting because they mirror each other. Okay.
Okay.
So it says, grief isn't empty, it's black and material. I've seen it. It's a force, independent, and eats you while you're sleeping. The spring after Ted died, I once saw it in pieces in the air of the apartment tatters, whirled around me like burnt paper. So that's cool imagery. And it says, in part two, the person that you were will be replaced. So the first one's towards a definition, and then the person that you were will be replaced. And I think that's an interesting idea. And it says, in grief, the person that you were is replaced by grief, not the person you originally were, but the one you'd become. Grief is opportunistic and uncontrollable. It doesn't exactly come from you. You allow it in. It's godlike, as in possession.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting is that when you get over a moment of grief, you don't go back to who you were. You are something new, and you can be happy again, and you can move on, and you've dealt with it, and you don't think about the grief every single moment of the day, but you're not the person you were before. You've been changed.
Yeah.
And so the person that you were will be replaced, probably happens a few hundred times or more in your life as you get new experience. And so that's neat.
This one is very much this thing between us.
Yes. Yes. I swear he must have
come across it,
read it actually, so let's think of it this way. Maybe he read it. Maybe he's a big Alice Notley fan, or maybe life is just that way. These are universal experiences that people have gone through when they deal with loss.
Yeah.
So, and he's describing it his way, and she's describing it her way, and those ways are very similar because we're all a lot more similar than we are different.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and life's experiences are a lot more similar than they are different when you come down to it. So,
Yeah.
just really, really brilliant. Those are some very poignant words there for sure.
Yeah.
Then I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here that is interesting because it's a repeat of. It keeps dealing with all the different moments. This one's interesting just to look at. Remember what I came here to do to this world. Very little, actually. This one's really fascinating because it starts with I. Every line starts with I. As you read a few of them, I came here so that I came to be equal in surprise too. I came empty-handed before being dried. I am a poisonous epic. I was at 4 a shape of love and reason. I was at 15 capable of heinous pity. I'm not so foolish as to, I think at 34 that I know who the best poets are. I saw your footage of what you said was the age. I met 6,000 men and 15 women on the way to. I thought we would. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it just, some of the thoughts are complete and some of them aren't. So
Right.
I came here so that the I came to be equal in surprise to. I came, is that how it's read? I don't know. It's just it gets you disjointed because some of the lines are straightforward.
Yeah.
And like the last line, I borrow someone else's form. What else is a body? Some of the thoughts are forms. Some of them they don't know. I think that's what trails off. I came here so that I'm not so foolish as to. Like there's some unanswered questions.
Yeah.
There's some confessions. There's some just statement of who they are. It's great.
It almost feels like she had tried to write the poem before this very little actually was added to it.
Right.
She was, and then these were her like, okay, this will be the first line, or maybe this will be the first line, and
yeah, almost like she's like 2 and just left it blank so she could fill it in later, but didn't fill it in.
Yeah.
That could be. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
it kind of, it reminds. I've seen a lot of artists who are kind of like that, where it's like, I'm not that important.
Right.
I think it was one with Tyler, the Creator, and someone was like, why should people listen to you? And he's like, they shouldn't. I actually suck.
Yeah, I agree. It's very interesting. All right. And so finally we get to Mysteries of Small Houses.
Yes.
So this is the title track, so to speak.
Yeah.
Don't think I have. Yeah. We'll just end with the discussion of this because there's one more poem, but I don't want to dive into that one because I didn't like it as much as this one. So this is the penultimate poem.
Okay.
I like saying that, but it's really fascinating. This sense of it. It goes, poverty much maligned but beautiful has resulted in smaller houses replete with mysteries. How can something so finite, so petite and shallow have the infinite center I sense there? There, in the alley house, for example, I enter it again, utterly still in the morning and with shadows around its door, mouth, and throughout, front room, bedroom, dining room, kitchen room, of wash tubs and porch made my room, all small and worn, linoleum, blue pattern, pink flowers, but now it's all shadows because inside its center I'm, or is it we're? It's I'm that I won't ever know completely unless I do when I die. And I just like that trip through the imagery. Like this is very stream of consciousness about how this finite space contains all of this.
Yeah.
And all of its meaning. It's very mundane. And then, all those things it says, but inside its center, I'm, or is it we're? It's I'm that I won't ever know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's like I'm talking about no, is it us? No, it's we're no, okay. But it's I'm that I won't ever know completely.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um
It is like fun to think about. Just like, really close to us, we have the Piddick Mansion,
uh-huh.
which is a house, and then we have our apartment here, which could mean it's apartment, but is a house more or less.
Yeah.
And how different they are, while still both being called houses, and
Right. Yeah, and
you contain essentially all the same things. And
yeah, and we there's a movie out there, a documentary for lack of a better word called I think it's called Happy, and it
Mhm.
goes kind of a discussion of who's happy, and it talks to people that are happy. And
Yeah.
this one guy was seen as the happiest person on earth, and he lives in the slums of um, Mumbai. Sorry, it's
Okay.
coming to me.
Yeah.
I kept wanting to say Madras, but Mumbai. He
Mhm.
lives in a shack, a hovel shack, like just plywood put together with tarps over it.
Yeah.
And he works and has a family, but they live in squalor, but he's very happy. And what that contains, what that means. Um,
Yeah.
interesting. This one harkens back to this thing between us where it says towards the end it says their house had a darkness where they slept.
Yeah.
But so and then she goes, I know I'm not talking about poverty exactly, but not having.
Hmm.
Why have is such an illusion, and the body self such a shadowy, fragile house? So that sentence
Yeah.
stands on itself, but it's poignant in that. Not talking about poverty exactly, but not having.
Yeah.
That's great. So go in and find that room, that secret. Is it under it or inside? It's inside a shadow. If I could just slip into it, and if I do, I'm still whole, but mum in old needles. The hotel's too big, the churches are too, and the mute, low-lying schools, there's the desert beyond them that I tried to keep housed from no thin flesh. There, no coursing fluid, no thought.
Hmm.
So again, a good mastery of her style there,
Yeah.
and just jumping around on the sentence, and again, I think it's good in this book too. It says she has never tried to be anything but a poet,
Yeah.
and all her ancillary activities have been directed to that end. So there you go.
Yeah.
Um, just to give an idea, this was 1998, and this one quotes it as saying, author of more than 20 books of poetry. And so
Whoa.
between then and when she died was another 20 books of poetry and some so 90, 2000, yeah, in right around 25 years she wrote 20 more books.
So she died recently.
Yeah, 20, yeah, just this year. I was sad to know that. I keep revisiting some of my favorite poets just after just after they've died, and I didn't know they died, and so
Yeah.
it keeps. So this is also a tribute to her, and
Yeah.
so what is your impression? What do you think of that?
I really like it. I like things like that where it feels like spending more time with it will get you more out of it.
Yeah,
And I like that I'm not picking up on everything right away.
yeah,
Um, there's also a lot of points where I can see how maybe it's been influential to you, because there's points where if I'm not looking at this, it sounds like you talking, or it sounds like how you talk sometimes.
sure,
And
yeah,
then I go back to it, it's like, oh, that's just how she wrote it. And
yeah, and I would hope that I am not parroting,
mhm,
but that it's more of I've found familiarity of thought and an
yeah,
ability to express in that way. But yeah, that's cool. That I felt influenced. It's interesting to have the outside observation that obviously I was. So that's good. That's an interesting thing to hear. I don't think hardly anybody would come up and say, "Oh, were you influenced by Alice Notley?" It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a connection that would be made, but it's good to see that you can see where that's coming through. So
Yeah.
well, very cool. I know I dove into it deeply, and there's a lot to cover. There's still hours worth of discussion that could be had, and
Yeah.
but it's all. I think these were the high points of the subject matter.
Yeah.
She dives deeply into her husband's passing and all that, and he comes up. I mean, if you counted the times he was mentioned, it's half the book.
Even in just
Yeah.
what we read through. And
Yeah, and so it's neat. They liked each other, and he was taken too early. It's good. It was a trauma, but yeah, it's just neat. It's just neat stuff. So
yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'll have to read through more of it.
yeah.
It seems like a lot of fun.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I think it's something that I could see Chloe enjoying too.
I think this because of who's the other poet that she really
Mary Oliver.
Yeah, Mary. I think if she likes Mary Oliver, then she's gonna like Alice Notley. And now you have a copy of this that you can share.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Well, good. I'm glad to be able to share this. I was worried it wouldn't. I didn't have a lot of background, but there's a lot to get through. So
yeah.
I hope I didn't overdo it, but appreciate.
Oh no. I thought it was great.
It seemed to go really quickly, so I hope it comes across that way. So yeah.
Yeah. It's still been about 2 hours.
Yeah, it has, which is really interesting. I'm going for the record. I was trying to go for the record.
Yeah.
But I can't commit this kind of time. All right. So I'm looking forward to plans for the end of the year. And
yes.
And we're recording this ahead of Christmas, but it'll come out after Christmas. But I hope you have a good Christmas.
Thank you.
We got your package. Did you get our package?
I did.
Okay, good.
Did you get both my packages?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, it'd be good. So all right.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Thanks to everyone who listens and comes on these journeys with us. I've been again still enjoying it.
Yeah.
And looking forward to all that is to come.
Yeah. I'm excited too. It's going to be great.
All right. Well, excellent. Thanks, Max.
Yeah, thanks.
And thanks for a great conversation, and we'll see you in another week.
Sounds good. We'll see you later.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.